Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads. Let me know if you can, that you can see me, if you can put it in the comments panel and that you can hear me. Just give me a heads up and let me know so we can get started here. While we're waiting for that, this is our class for top tools for more listings. So just give me a confirmation that you can see everything and hear me, and we'll get started here. Yes, awesome. Thanks so much. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. If you're new to us, please let me know. If you are new to us, it's always good, but let's get into it. There's a lot to unpack to get more listings here. And there's a lot of things that are happening and that are exciting right now that are happening. But I'm also going to be telling you what's working for our clients, which has been working all year, including like right now. So before we get into it, I want to remind you that inside the account, you can get to this page for live training. And today we're talking about top tools for more listings. Tomorrow, Scott will be going over how to market listings. On Wednesday, how to do kind of cash offers, new construction. And then next week, next Monday, will be onboarding, right? If you're a new client. So you can find this on lead gen webinars. You can also find it on our training calendar inside of Listings to Leads. Every class we do, including this class, is recorded and they're all put here. You can see them on our live channel, which this class is actually being streamed live on YouTube as we speak. But also all the classes that we do end up on this page. And I want to point out this right here, because today we're talking about how to get listings. And there's been something that we've been working on for a couple of months. And if you're in our mastermind group, you're going to see what's happening regarding expired listings. Okay. So we'll talk about this a few times, but it is something that our clients are actively working. Not all agents do, but if the point of this class is to get more listings, you definitely want to hear what's going on there. So that's like a 3-minute video. We're actually doing a 30-day challenge with our clients like you. You're welcome to join us to understand how to reach out to expireds, how to engage them, and how to turn them into your own listings. Okay. So we've got that on the YouTube channel. If you go to Facebook, you're going to hear about the same challenge right here, right? So we've got our own mastermind group. You should all be part of our mastermind group. You should take 15, 20 minutes every week to hear what's going on. It's where Scott and I talk about what's going on, we're doing. It's also where our clients ask questions and say, hey, this is what I'm up to. But I do want to point everybody up to this kind of expired story. If you scroll through here for a few weeks in the mastermind group, you're going to see a lot of agents talking about this. And I think you want to understand what it is, because there's a lot of opportunity for you to get more listings by reaching out to expireds. And all that being said, I want to talk about, typically there's a whole stack that we're going to look at, a whole series of things that you want to look at for real farming, right? For really, how am I going to get more listings? What are all the ways of listings to leads to get more listings, right? And those are real and you absolutely should be doing them. But I want to make sure that you understand what is getting results for our clients right now. Okay. And one of those things is expired marketing. The other thing, which is a big deal, is our open house marketing. So we actually do a class on how to do open house marketing. And our open house marketing, of course, it's going to get buyers, but it's also engaging nearby homeowners, right? So if you have an open house in an area where you want more listings, you want to see what we're doing with our open house marketing. You can email me, Vince at Listings to Leads. I'll send that to everybody right now. I actually have a really great video with one of our long-term broker clients. Let me see if I can get this to everybody. And he's really strategic about open houses, and he uses a lot of our tools, and he uses some of his own tools. It's a really useful call. And when we talk about how to capture leads, And let me just show you. Let me jump over here real fast. This is a list that I usually walk through when we talk about how to capture leads. And I'll tell you, mail a nearby homeowner letter, run Facebook ads on sold properties and later stage properties, create a home valuation page, like what is your home worth in your favorite city, right? And then run ads on Facebook and Google with that. Okay. Then we've got a bunch of PDF guides. Each of you have 40 PDF guides for homeowners, multiple ways to market those, right? And then you have a home sold report. You can mail out just sold postcards. You have e-flyers that you can blast out on your own CRM. There are even tools for your homeowners to share on their social medias. All of these tools capture leads, seller leads. Okay. And when you think about it, that's great. You should really be applying this, right? But what happens after you capture a lead? You have to start converting it. Okay. And I don't know what experience you have or what systems you have in place to convert leads, but that can take days, weeks, and months, and even years to convert some leads, right? Now, on this list that we're looking at, there are some leads that are higher quality. That number one nearby homeowner letter, highest quality seller lead. It's a piece of paper, okay? Highest quality seller leads, you don't get a lot of leads, but you get high quality ones. Facebook ads, you get more leads, easy to get, really low time investment, even low cost per lead, but they take longer to convert, right? So when we're talking about capturing leads, you have to have some realistic expectations that, yeah, I'm going to capture leads, but they're probably not all going to talk to me in the first 24 to 48 hours. And that doesn't mean it's a bad lead. It just means that's realistically what you're working with. Conversely, if you're reaching out to expireds and you're literally meeting somebody who was trying to sell a home and wasn't successful, that's going to be a shorter conversion. If you're holding open houses and real people are coming through and they're looking at all the tools that we designed for you to market you, to offer value and capture leads, you're talking about a much more compressed time frame to convert a lead. You're literally shaking somebody's hand. You might have a listing presentation in your hand, and ideally it's ours. And you're really getting to a high impact conversation very quickly. This is another example of our expired thing. And so, there have been three things that have been really getting our clients excited this year. One is our Facebook ads, two is our listing presentation, and three is our open house marketing. Okay. And all three of those things actually help you capture sellers, right? And engage sellers. Now, the story of expireds, it's actually our listing presentation just branded for people who have a home that's expired. Okay. And if you can see me in the screen, this is what it looks like right here. And so in the mastermind group, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that you can actually purchase this. You're paying another printer. I think it's called Mailbox Power. It's high quality. So you're not leaving something flimsy behind. You're engaging somebody with a very cool marketing message that's branded to you on every page. Okay. This is a print version of our listing presentation. We're going to talk about the listing presentation a few times, but this says expired right on the front. Right? So it's designed to engage those people who are trying to sell their home and didn't sell it. I'm going to guess they still want to sell their home. That's why our clients are reaching out to these people. Our clients also reach out to people who have canceled and FSBOs and then straight up listing leads, right? So they're leveraging our listing presentation for different kinds of leads. All right. But this story of expireds, you can go to the mastermind group. You can order that. You can order them in like bulk. You can get 10 at a time. I want to remind you right here is a 30-day challenge. So Scott's going to be working with our agents, with our clients to say, hey, let's leverage this. Let's use this expired strategy and really knock it out of the park. That's even when you log in, you're going to see sign up for this challenge. So definitely, I think you should I know not everybody reaches out to expireds and many of you don't reach out to FSBOs. You may or may not know, like people who want more listings reach out to FSBOs because they convert to an actual listing on average within 2 months. Okay. So you've got a lot here that can help you engage those people to say, hey, I have a better way of selling homes than the average realtor, right? And you do. If you're a client of ours, you definitely do. I have a client who, before we even started doing this print expired deal, he called me. He said, hey, I called this. There's a really beautiful listing in Southern Florida, the east side of north of LA or north of Miami, sorry. And it's beautiful. He canceled it. And I called him. I said, what? Right. I'm a realtor. What's happening? I saw you pulled your home. He goes, yeah, I had this realtor from Sotheby's. He didn't do anything. I just pulled it. I just canceled the listing. And he said, well, I have a great way of a great marketing solution and system for listings. And could I meet you? And the man said yes. And that's the nature of reaching out to FSBOs or reaching out to cancels and expireds, is that you have a better way of having of marketing a home. And so right here, I'm on my listings page. I have a listing for a particular homeowner and the status says listing presentation. So I'm going to click here, and sometimes this takes a minute or two to bake. So let's click here and see how long that's going to take. Flipbook here. I clicked on Flipbook at the top. There's a print version, which this is really when you're downloading it and printing it on your own printer. Maybe you put it in a folder and you leave it behind when you're meeting somebody at their home. This version is Flipbook, which is like an online magazine. Okay. So if you remember, I was just showing you this here, which is our expired printed version for expireds. This is the same presentation that we're looking at on the computer, but it's for one homeowner and their particular home. So after you got a lead, after you've spoken to somebody, maybe it's a FSBO, maybe it's an expired or canceled, you don't have to use the generic version. You can tailor this to that home. And you'll notice that it is designed for one address right here and one homeowner, and that's their home right on the cover, right? And if you go through the listing presentation, it talks about all the ways that we do marketing where we're selling a home. Talks about Facebook and Instagram ads. They can actually see what their house is going to look like on Facebook and Instagram. Social media marketing, which this is part of our platform. So if you're new to us, you may not know that we actually do this. When is there going to be a canceled listing landing page? I don't know. You can put that in the mastermind group, Neil. Ask for that. We're actually doing a big refresh, so we'll probably be able to add that pretty soon. We do create a YouTube video, right? We do it automatically. You can put it on your own YouTube channel if you have one, but it goes on ours, right? And they can see what their house is going to look like in print. They're going to see the nearby homeowner letter, which is part of our strategy. Email marketing. We create e-flyers for you. Sphere of influence, where we've got tools for the homeowner, right? Short form videos, if you're doing videos, listing websites and virtual tours, all this is automatically done by us, right? But it's not talking about listings leads. It's you, your picture, your logo. But here, this page right here is literally the page that's winning every presentation for our clients. I have been talking to agents all summer long, and every week I ask them, do you have a listing presentation coming up? And they say yes. And then boom, we go in there, we create that unique listing presentation for that homeowner. Every time they get to this page, they ask the homeowner, please take a picture with your smartphone of that QR code, and bam, their listing pops up on their phone. So you can tell them, hey, I have all these ways to market. I'm even mobile optimized. Are the other agents you're talking to, are they doing everything that I'm doing? And the answer is usually no. And that's why literally every presentation, every agent I have spoken to this summer has won every listing presentation they're on, because they've taken a moment to create this for an individual homeowner, whether that's canceled, expired, FSBO, okay, or just a straight listing presentation. So if you want the 4-minute video on how to create this, you can email me at Vince@Listing Solutions. It's in the chat bill here. Okay. So that's the listing presentation. And we always create, when you go to the listings page, there's a generic one sitting. Let's just go right here under the listing presentation. Okay. You can have it in a print format, which when you print it here, it's like on PDF, it's like on paper, and you print it and maybe you staple it. When you order it through the mastermind group, it's super slick like this. And when you use the flipbook version, that's an online magazine. And if you remember on my listings page, I have a listing with the status of listing presentation. So it's really designed to showcase that home. All right. So that's, I think everybody understands the whole listing presentation story. But remember how I said there are three things that are going on that are very exciting for our clients this year. And one is the expired marketing and the listing presentation and leveraging that in multiple ways. And the other way I mentioned is open house marketing. So I actually have an open house right here. So I'm going to click on market listing and just shortcut to why this actually is a top way for our clients to get listings right now. Okay. So you should go watch our class. Scott does a class on open house marketing. It's great. And first thing you do is you run an ad on Facebook, right? And because you got an open house, you want people to know about it. You run a $50 ad, 2,000 or 3,000 people will see it. It's already pre-written, right? I always like to say open on Saturday or Sunday over here in that white area. And so that's part of open house marketing. But the other thing, and which is really why our clients are getting more listings, is they print this letter right here called the Nearby Homeowner letter. There's 3 versions of the same letter. They just look different. I'm going to download one in a PDF format, and let's kind of look at that, right? What is this all about? What this is for you to market before the open house, right? And what it says is, hey, we've got an open house on Saturday from 1 to 4. Go here to check it out, scan there, go check it out. But that's going to affect your home value, and go here to check out your home value, right? This is a piece of paper. Okay. You print out 50, you print out 100, you walk the neighborhood and you give it to the homeowners, right? If they happen to be renting, they can go check it out and possibly buy that home, right? But this is designed to tell the neighbors, hey, I'm selling a home in your area. And if you'd like your home value, just go right there and get it. Okay. So I want to remind you, this is a piece of paper. So you're handing a piece of paper. So they're going to walk to their own computer and type in that address, which is unique to you. And it's going to drive them to this page. So I don't know where everybody is from. There's a lot of people on the call today. If that does not look like your area, you might want to change the background picture. Okay. And that's usually something I talk about in setup. And that is a landing page called Free Home Values. Okay. And let's go to landing pages now. And you'll see that you all have a free home value page that looks just like this. All right. So if I was just talking to an agent in Arizona like in Scottsdale, and she says, that doesn't look like my area. And so it's like, click that pencil and put in a photograph that looks like your area, your kind of landscape, that kind of thing. And so you might want to do that, right? If that looks like here, no worries. You can also click here. Since we're on the landing page, you can click here and you can say, hey, I want to create a landing page for FSBOs. I want to create a landing page for expireds. Or I want to create Property Valuation Plus, which hopefully we're going to change this name soon, but that's how you get the instant home value page. Okay. And that's basically this page here, right? Now you can also create a landing page for empty nesters. Okay. And if you have a lot of that going on in your markets, you might want these different kinds of landing pages to reach out to those kinds of folks. Now, I will say this, I'm going to filter on, let's go to expired. I won't talk about expireds because Scott's talking about expired. So let's just talk about FSBOs. So you have a different landing page for FSBOs as you do for expireds. And I have one here for FSBOs. And the reason why I want to show this to you is it's auto-generated. All you got to do is click on create FSBO, type in the name of the town, and boom, it looks like this. You really don't have to change anything, right? It's basically saying, hey, you're selling your home yourself. Would you like some free marketing tools? Sure. What do you want? I want a virtual tour. I want a social media marketing. Okay. I want those tools. What's your information? Right? Then when you put in your information, it's going to ask them for a photo. So we can actually create those tools automatically and in the lead what tools they want, right? So this is engaging FSBOs. We have another landing page that it engages expireds, right? But the reason why I want to show you this is now that the landing page is there, you might ask yourself, how do I get that? How do I get people there? And this is how you think about it. You could run an ad on Facebook. You could run an ad on Google. You could run an ad on social media. You could share it on social media, right? Now, I actually don't recommend Facebook ads for FSBOs. Why? Right? I don't recommend it for expireds as well. It's like you're using a shotgun when you need a rifle approach, right? I don't know, the stats, but I don't think FSBOs are more than 3% of the entire market wherever you are, right? If I'm wrong, please put the right answer in there. Definitely not more than 5, right? Because most people know I need a realtor to sell my home, right? There's some risk and I want top money and all that, right? So if you use Facebook to run an ad, all you can do is type in your favorite town and it's going to do a 15-mile radius of anybody within that town. That's not hitting the exact people you're looking for, right? It's a small group of people that have FSBOs around here, right? I really recommend going to this section that says postcards and door hangers and printing out both and hanging the door hanger and mailing the postcard because you probably won't get an engagement on just one thing, right? You might reach out to them. If you get their email, you got an e-flyer. All of these tools that I'm showing you right now, all get them to the FSBO landing page. Okay. They're all branded to you. They all capture leads, but you could use Google. You could run an ad on Google because if people are thinking of selling their home themselves, they might type in certain keywords that our Google ads are going to respond to. So Google is useful for FSBOs. Maybe it's okay for expireds, right? But I think Facebook and social media posts aren't going to get you a lot of traction at all. I think that print, postcards, and door hangers for expireds or for FSBOs or Google ads are going to work. I hope that's making sense, right? And those are the sorts of landing pages that you have that can capture seller leads. Now, the natural one that everybody is pointing to is here. So I'm going to show you now a common mistake that many of our clients make so that you don't make this mistake. And first of all, I want to thank you for being here because there's so many new clients who do not take the time to hear this class and they make the exact mistake I'm about to show you. And then they come in the mastermind group and tell us how disappointing that was. And I don't want you to waste your time and money. Do you recommend using a generic picture or the actual place of the home? I think you can just go with a generic picture, John. When you get to the listing presentation, right, of meeting that homeowner, then definitely put a picture of their home in the listing presentation. But when you're using the landing page like this, generic is fine. Okay. So there's a picture in the background here. It doesn't have to be their home. But when you do the listing presentation, see if I got it here. Let's say you use this page to find a FSBO lead. They say, yes, I'd like to meet you. Then you create that listing presentation with a picture of their home. And you can do that with just your smartphone. Go get that photograph, right? And do that. So I hope that answers your question, Joe. So where was I? Oh, landing page. Yes, I was going to show you a big mistake. Like agents, they just like sign up and click around and figure it out. And as you may have noticed, there's a lot here, so you can get easily overwhelmed. But a natural thing that agents want to do is they go, oh, landing pages. I know what landing page. Oh yeah, I want free home values, right? So let's click marketing and let's run an ad on Facebook. I've heard of agents doing that forever. Let's just do it. The first thing you land on is Facebook. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on here. There's a number of things that I don't like. If you haven't noticed, that's my real estate business page for Walnut Creek. So it's sponsored to you. Jocelyn, yes, this is going to be recorded. It's on our YouTube channel, and you can get to our YouTube channel inside on the marketing calendar, or you can just find us on YouTube. Okay. This class will be right here. So what we were talking about is these running an ad on this. So if I click here, I'm running it on this page, but let's talk about what's not really great here. Well, first of all, it's not talking about your area, right? I can type in Walnut Creek because that is my area, my number one farm market. So I want a landing page. I want more listings in Walnut Creek, right? And you guys have different areas where you want more listings. So you might think using this generic ad that doesn't talk about Walnut Creek at all would be the way to go because we just lay that out for you. But it's not. It doesn't work very well at all. And what's even worse is this default setting is traffic. Okay. And if you want leads with name, email, and phone number, you want to be using lead ads. And let me make it really clear. You want to do that every time. If you feel like you need to drive traffic to a landing page, you better be a very compelling story of why somebody's going to fill out a form. Because if you use traffic and you run an ad, the ad looks exactly the same, right? You can type in Walnut Creek or you can type in your favorite city and it's going to look the same to the consumer, right? But when they land on the page, we're going to ask, hey, what is your address? Okay. And they go, oh, yeah, here's my address. And then we say, get the value. And then we ask them, what's your email address? And that's where they stop because they don't want to give you their email address. Okay. So when clients do this, they're disappointed that they're just getting addresses, right? Had you run this same exact ad as a lead ad, every lead would have a name, email, and phone number. And then we drop them on a page that says, hey, now add your address. Okay. And let me show you something. This is just for education. I don't want to get too far off the track. This form is what they're looking at right here. It says, what's your contact information? Full name, email, and phone number. I don't know if you can tell, but these fields are blank. On an actual ad, people, when they click on it, those fields are auto-populated from their profile. Nobody is typing anything in. This is why all of our leads come in with name, email, and phone number. Okay. So you definitely want to be using lead ads as opposed to traffic. This is very important. Okay. Now we give them some privacy language and we say, hey, give us your address. All good, right? That's going to work. I wouldn't really recommend going out with this. If you don't take the class, you're going to do it anyway. Anyway, we do share this page automatically to your social media accounts when you sign up. It's part of the setup wizard, right? We're going to share for free. You might not get a lot of great leads there. I do want to remind you though, when we're running the ad and we're getting pre-populated name, email, and phone number, you want to make sure that you're texting those leads first. Okay. Because if you call them, they're going to just say, I don't know what you're talking about. And literally, they could have sent you their note, name, email, and phone number 5 seconds ago. And you can call them because we're going to text you that lead. And they're going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. Because they don't know who you are. That's why you want to text them 5 or send them a question, 1 question at a time until they respond and back. Then they'll be ready for a phone call. Okay. So you can also do better things. But I do want to show you here, and I see some more questions. If it's a lead ad, do they still have to submit their email after they enter their address? Yeah. And Eric, that's a good question. So let's imagine that we run a lead ad. So we have their name, email, and phone number, and they get on this page and they type in their address and they come here and we ask them for their email address. They may not give it to you, but you're going to know that these are the same people because it's coming in one after the other. So you can actually say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take their address because I have it from this form. We would send you the email, the physical address, and I'm going to just drop it in myself in this form and send them the value that they're looking for, that they hesitated here. So yeah, you're going to have, if you run a lead ad and you get them here to this page, you're going to get name, email, phone number pre-populated. And if they click and get here and give you the mailing address, you're going to get that as well. And if they don't click to give you the mailing address, you can text them and say, hey, I see you wanted your home value. We didn't get your address. Can I have your address and let me get that for you? And then you just drop all that information here. We're sending them a value low, medium, and high from onboard infometrics. That just gets the conversation started. It's not 100% accurate, but it's going to get the conversation started. Okay. There is something else that you should be doing though. You should go to create landing page, create a home valuation, property valuation plus, and type in the name of your favorite city, right? Where you want more listings. Because once you've done that, it's going to create a generic landing page, even more generic than that little picture here. It's going to look like this. You see that? And I don't recommend going out to market like that. I recommend that you click this button over here where it says upload image and put a nice picture. I think this one's Myrtle Beach. So a nice picture that everybody in Myrtle Beach is going to know. It doesn't have to be a home, guys. It doesn't have to be like a new custom mansion because not everybody has that kind of home. It should be a main street. It could be a mall. It could be a very popular restaurant that everybody in Myrtle Beach knows. Remember what you're doing when you're getting this in front of somebody. You're asking them for their address and their contact information, and they don't even know who you are. So if they don't know who you are, this page right up front is what's going to establish trust. And I've had clients, I set up the office account, right? The team accounts around the country. And I set up Coldwell Banker in Summit, New Jersey. And after we did the rollout calls, they called me about a month later and said, oh my God, we're getting leads all over the place. But the number one home value add in our area has Summit Diner in the background, right? They had all kinds of landing pages because all the agents were creating different landing pages. The number one landing page to capture seller leads was the one showing this diner. And you recognize this, right? This is the old timey get your bacon and eggs on the weekend kind of thing. It's an old converted railroad car. That town has 24,000 people. Everybody in Summit knows this. So when you have something like that on a page that really resonates for that local area, that's going to work out better for you. Okay. I hope, is everybody tracking along what we're talking about here? So what we are talking about is running ads, creating a home valuation page, do that on Facebook and Google. So you've got different kinds of landing pages that you can run. Okay. I'm also going to point out, I mentioned it earlier, but each of you have 80 PDF guides. Okay. And 40 of them are for home buyers. All right. And another 40 are for home sellers. If you click on this one, now we're going to see all the flyers, all PDF guides for homeowners, right? So if you click marketing tool, you have many ways of marketing these, right? And one of the ways is running out on Facebook. Another way is running out on Google. Again, where it says social media posts, we actually auto post these to your social media accounts for free throughout the year. And we put a landing page behind it. So if somebody clicks on it and they want to download that, they can't, okay, for free. They just got to give you their contact information, right? Now, we also have eFlyer for your database. And so for those of you that have CRMs with hundreds or thousands of leads, I was just talking to an agent today, she has 9,500 leads. You have to go here and copy the code right here for these and just blast it out on your own CRM. People can download it. They can even get their free home value. They can see all your reviews. You can also create flyers. These kinds of flyers. Remember how I mentioned here in the call that open houses are the number one way of getting more listings is open up. This is part of it. Having these PDF guides for around the house, it's branding you in the open house, and they're different topics so people can download things as their buyers or for sellers, and they just got to give you their contact info. So there's lots of ways of marketing a PDF guide, right? But there's some free ways that we do automatically, and there are paid ways. But let's talk about the cheapest way to get a seller lead, okay? If you're going to pay for it, because we are going to auto post to your social media accounts all those PDF guides. And you can take the e-flyers for PDF guides, or you can take the e-flyers for any of the landing pages we've been talking about and blast it out on your CRM. If you've got hundreds or thousands of leads, that would be a smart action to take, right? Those are free. But what happens if I want to market things to get more leads, right? And that's a cost. And so the first thing I would tell you is Facebook, right? And cheapest way to get seller leads from Facebook typically is running a sold. This property is sold. So let's click on it. And let's do it. Let's see, how do you do that? And you click on Facebook and Instagram, and let's see here. We basically written the ad for you. You can customize it. I'm going to show you a couple things that you can do to customize, but this is how it works. It says, hey, that home is sold. And let's let this thing finish spinning. It's going to affect your home value. Click here for your home value. Real simple, right? How can you improve this? You could click in this text here, and you only want to use this. It's factually true, right? Sold 10K above asking, right? Whatever that number is, right? And I'm talking to people now, and they're selling quickly, right? Sold in 10 days, sold multiple offers, right? 8 offers, right? That is going to tell a homeowner what's going on here. I need to find out what this person's doing. Okay. So when you run an ad like this, and let's talk about lead cost on Facebook. This lead, you see, it's a $50 ad. Lifetime means you can only spend $50. It's going to run for 7 days. The cost per the lead, however, is $7 each. So if you divide 7 into 50, you would expect 7 leads. Okay. And if you're really lucky, you'll get one of those leads to talk to you who's saying, yeah, I want to sell my home. But 1 out of 7 leads, what is that? Is that 15% lead conversion? Do you know the lead at the national average lead conversion of online leads is? It's 1%. So you need 100 leads to get 1, unless you're really lucky and you run one ad and somebody's like, yeah, I want to sell. I got to sell. That would be very lucky. So cost per lead is really important. When you run an ad on a home on a page like this, the cost per lead here on average is $15 each. Okay. So when you run a sold ad, it's $7. So over twice as expensive. If you're running an ad on a PDF guide, those are on average $10 to $12 each, right? Same $50 ad is going to get you more or fewer seller leads. You need to be thinking, hey, if I really want to be using ads to get leads, I need to have a higher volume. So I probably want to go with the cheaper ones. And I'm going to show you something that not many agents know, but that is, if they run an ad on a home that is pending or under contract, the language is very similar to the sold ad. And because not many realtors run ads on things that are pending or under contract, the lead cost is lower. Okay. And not that this is a Facebook ad class, but buyer leads, when you run an ad on a home that's for sale or an open house or just active, just listed, those leads cost $3 each. When you run an ad on a home, like I said, that's sold, those leads cost $7 each. When you run an ad on a home that's pending or under contract, we've seen those leads cost between $3 and $4 and $5 each. So the cheapest way to get seller leads from Facebook is actually under contract and pending ad. That being said, they don't work always that well because people have to read, like, what's going on. It says, hey, it's pending, it's going to close. That's going to affect my home value. Oh, okay, I want my home value. So if they hit that ad, you can get a low cost lead. But people, meaning consumers and homeowners, understand when you say that a home is sold and that might impact your home value. They understand that a little bit easier. So you typically get more leads from a sold ad. They just tend to cost more. Okay. It's worth testing out under contract and pending ads. My story. Where do you get the cost per lead of 7 from the $50 ad? That's a good question, Jocelyn. So this is a $50 ad. That's the budget that you are putting there. We default when you're trying to run ads that capture seller leads, we put $50 there. That's your money. When you run the ad here, it's charging your credit card on Facebook account. Okay. But Facebook decides what they're going to charge you for each lead. They set that price per ad. This is one ad. So they might set it for $7. They might set it for $15. I've even seen leads cost $20 each. You don't want to be paying $20. You don't even want to be paying $15. So we would tell you, turn off that lead and start a new one. Turn off that ad and start a new one. Facebook sets the prices the moment that you run it. And actually, they set that price in the first few hours. So whenever you run an ad, say you ran an ad today, I would tell you, and I tell everybody that I speak with, come in the next day and the next day, get in the habit of coming to this ads page right here. Your price per lead is. You notice how it's $2.12 here. It's $3.03 here. It's $6.28 here, $5.93. It's never the same. It's not $3 or $7. It's like random numbers. And unfortunately, I have seen where I've seen buyer leads cost $1.05. I've seen dollar leads cost $12 each. Would you rather pay $1 or $12? Probably one. You're going to get more leads per dollar, right? So come in here, look at your ads, see what Facebook is doing. And if it's too high, just click that button right here. It'll be green and turn it off and then rerun the ad. Where do we see that when we run the ad? You don't see that, Jocelyn. You see it the following day on this page. They don't, when you click the button, create ad, they don't say, okay, your lead's going to cost $4. They actually use whatever algorithms or whatever competition. And then you come here to the ads page the following day and you look at this view and you're going to see CPL means cost per lead. $2 CPL. Okay. So if it's coming in at a high number, then you should click this button right here. Let me show you. It's off. It's gray. It's off. Now it's on because I just turned it on. So if you see here that you're getting like overpriced leads on the CPL, then click that button and turn it off and then go right up here and create an ad again. The only time I don't recommend doing that is during open houses, which are really time sensitive because sometimes it takes Facebook a while to activate the ad and approve the ad and so on. Okay, so we have been talking about, let's just go back to my cheat sheet here. We've been talking about a few of these things, right? We talked about the nearby homeowner letter in relation to the open house, but there's actually more to that. We talked about property valuation pages and that you need to put a picture there, and then you can run Facebook and Google ads. You can run ads on pending. We even talked about the seller PDF guides and all the ways to get those out. We're going to talk about two more things. So if you have more questions, please put them in. I'm going to talk about two things right now. Number one on this list, which is nearby homeowner letter. And if you want this list, email me. I sent my email in the thing here. And I'm going to talk about this advanced options. This advanced option is actually very important. Custom audience. But let's go to the listings. And let's go here. So I talked about the nearby homeowner letter in relation to open house marketing and saying that our clients get more listings building open houses. And let me punctuate that. We have a lot of long-term clients and teams working with us, and they are literally holding 2 to 4 open houses every week. They're borrowing listings to do that. Okay. That is not even their own listing. Why would they do that? I talk to realtors every day of the week, every business day. And there are obviously agents that don't want to do open house. It's a waste of time. Right. That's what I hear. And that would be true if you put in a date in the MLS and wait for things to happen. But if you're using our open house marketing system, you are going to find it might be your top way of getting more listings, as well as selling homes, getting buyers. And that's a long-winded story to get us back to this tool here, which is the nearby homeowner letter, which has been for many years our top tool for more listings. That's why it's at the top of this page, top tools for more listings. It's the top tool. Okay. And why is that? Let's look at it. Okay. So normally our clients use this when they have a home just listed or when they have a home just sold. Okay. And you can see it says, hey, we just sold this home. Go check it out. Scan here, go there, go check it out. That affects your home value. Go here and get your free home value. This is a piece of paper that you download and you mail it to nearby homeowners, right? And if you go here, you'll notice that Express Copy is a national printer, and I have it connected here. And you could actually connect that Express Copy. You need that account. You set up your own profile, and you say get mailing list, and you say, hey, I want to do a 2 or 3 mile or maybe 1 mile radius. And Express Copy, you download that letter, you fold it, and you mail it to homeowners of single family homes that have owned a home for more than 6 years. Okay. That is a very smart way of leveraging piece of paper. Okay. Because you're mailing it with equity. They have to open the envelope, read this, scan it in a few seconds and go, oh, yeah, I do want my home value. Why do they want their home value? Maybe they're just thinking, or maybe they have to sell. Who knows? Okay. But when you mail that to people with equity, like we're doing with Express Copy, that's the smartest thing you can do with that. Whether it's a just listed letter or a sold letter. Now, we launched this partnership with Express Copy. Notice it costs about $1.82 per letter. We were excited because this has always been our top tool for more listings. And now we were able to make a simple solution for our clients to get it out, right? To get it into the market. We don't have any like revenue share, kickback, nothing. It's just make the best tool that we have available for our clients. And that's what Express Copy does. Now, all that being said, we found recently, because our clients really love that tool and they share with us in the mastermind group, that there's a company that hopefully we'll start to work with. We haven't talked about it yet because it's a big project we're doing. This company here, Z Air Mail, has a better font. Okay. Because when you use Express Copy, that font looks like bulk mail. It's coming from your address and going to their address. But if it looks like bulk mail, it's not even going to get open. This company here has a really high quality font, and this might sound silly, but that looks like it's handwritten. And that is the point. You want that letter. That letter is not complicated. It's not a heavy read, but it needs to get opened, right? If it doesn't get opened, it's just not going to help you out, right? So you remember at the beginning of the call, I said, you got to get in our mastermind group. And let's go over here. Somehow I got out of it. Our mastermind group is a private group for our clients. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, what's the problem here? Give me a second, guys. Oh, Walter's wrong. Okay. So since we're talking about how to get more listings, if you're writing anything down, I would highly recommend that you write these names down. Pat Motley, Dustin Fox, Chris Winstead, and Tamara Lobin. Okay. And Tamara is a new office client. Like I signed her up 4 months, maybe 6 months ago. And she literally is listening to everything I'm doing. We actually have a call with her. She's getting a lot of listings from open house marketing. And she told us, like, I'm talking to more homeowners now than I ever have because I'm using your tools. And she's got her own office. She knows what she's doing. So that really worked. Chris Winstead talks about the new My Homeowner letter. He grew from an out-of-state agent moving to Texas and now has his own office. And that was the number one tool that he used. But Pat has a really cool story that I want you to see. It's in the mastermind group. She shared it with us. Pat's been a client of ours for maybe 15 years, and she's been talking about this letter for probably 15 years. But she's doing something that nobody else is doing. So if you got questions, definitely ask. I see Eric saying, do you mean that the addressing on the envelope looks handwritten? That's what I mean, Eric. That's what I mean. So Z-Air makes it look handwritten. It's not perfect, but it's better than Express Copy. Okay. Now, if we go back to the mastermind group, I want to show you what Pat does. Pat mails out, whenever she has a listing, she always mails out 100. This is the nearby homeowner letter when it's just listed. And then when the home is sold, she'll mail out another 100. All right. And he does something that nobody else does. She takes Microsoft Publisher. After she prints out 100, she flips it over and she prints on the back with Microsoft Publisher. So it looks just like this. And then she hand folds and hand writes the addresses. Now, why in the world would she do that when you can do it in 2 clicks with Express Copy? And the answer is in the body of her post. She had 4 homeowners calling her on the first batch of 100. And if you read the notes, she had another 100, another 4 agent homeowners call her on this batch, which is the sold batch. Okay. So 1 home and 200 pieces of mail got her 8 listings. Okay. You may not have those results with express copy. You might not even have those results with direct mail. These are just the options, right? And do they mail everything? Can you get the addresses? So these companies, Express Copy and Z Airmail, they have a national database inside. So you just say, hey, I want homeowners within 5 miles of or 1 mile of this home that own a home for more than 6 years. They have that. So you don't have to really touch it, right? But Pat, she bought her own list, right? And they're getting it, and that's what I wanted to talk about, the custom audience. They're getting it from companies like listsource.com and archagent.com and remind.com, but a lot of people give me sad stories about Remind. So let's talk about ArchAgent and RedX and Vulcan 7. These companies will sell you a list of homeowners with mailing address, name, email, and phone number. And you need all of those things. So let me repeat this because you can get this from RedX, Remind, ListSource. ListSource is owned by CoreLogics, right? And ArchAgent, I don't know who owns them, but RedX and Remind, you probably know. What you need is a list of name, email, phone number, and mailing address. I know that you can get this kind of thing from your title companies, but they never come with name and email. Is Pat using your default letter? She is using our default letter. Yeah, she used our default letter. She did add the sales data. So right here, you see that button that says on, that's going to pull local sales data based on the zip code. And she checks that out. But she uses her default. That's all she does. But there's another reason why I think it's better to do it yourself. And that's because if you're buying the list of homeowners, now you can mail those people. You're not going to mail some of we have a team in Dallas. They have 3 lists, 3 that are 10,000 homeowners each, right? Dallas is a big town. And they're mailing those people with ads, right? And they're mailing things. They're not mailing 30,000 people at one time because that's a lot of money, but they do groups of 100 or 200. But the reason why I want you to go through that effort of getting that list in the way that I am describing with name, email, and phone number, how does she pick time? How does she pick them? Dawson, I don't really know. Yeah. I think she's just going through her list, right, of 100. There are companies that'll tell you, oh, these are highly graded to sell or whatever. But honestly, the average length of homeownership in the United States, I think, is 7 years right now, or maybe it's 8 now. After somebody's owned a home for 5 years, you should probably start marketing to them. So let's concentrate on this because I'm talking back and we're answering a lot of questions. One of the most valuable things you can do when you get that list of homeowners is you come to the ads page here and you click on this button that says create audience. And you call it whatever you want to call it, Walnut Creek Homeowners. It has to be minimum 1,000 leads long, okay? Not 100. If you're thinking of like a small neighborhood or development with 200 homes, no, that will not work. It needs to be 1,000 names long, and it has to have these fields: email, number, first name, last name. That format is what this spreadsheet needs to look like. Okay. Try saving it in CSV file. That tends to work better. Okay. So if you think of it this way, you've got that list with name, email, and phone number, and you've uploaded it on here. That's going to create a file inside of your Facebook ad account. And if it was Walnut Creek Homeowners and you created a page for Walnut Creek or any town that you want, because that's what you can do with us, you can type in the zip code. We'll pull some sales data. Lead ads means I get name, email, and phone number. Now you'll see that I actually have a landing page with this picture that's in the center of Walnut Creek. We have this really big mall that's the center of town. 6 million people come here every year. And this little fountain is where everybody hangs out and listens to music, and there's kids and all this and family. This is the center of the place. So if you live in Walnut Creek, you definitely know what this is. And you can see there's some sales data. Now you would think that if I type in Walnut Creek, that I would be happy, right? And that would be super, but I wouldn't be. And I'll tell you why. You see that minimum radius? That's what. because this town is 30 minutes away from San Francisco. And what that means is everything around here is just loaded with people. This is not like small country. Even though I live in a town of 24,000 people. A 15-mile radius of Walnut Creek means literally 1 million people will see this ad who don't live in Walnut Creek. Okay. That's another way to waste your money. So if I take this out and say, hey, I want to target my custom audience called Walnut Creek homeowners, right? Then it hits that list that you bought, only those people. That's when Facebook becomes crazy powerful. Then you take that same list that you bought from whoever you bought and you put it inside your CRM. And then you take our e-flyers for the homeowners, which there's 40 PDF guides for homeowners. You take our e-flyers for your home valuation landing pages. You can even take our e-flyers for FSBOs and mail it out to that list of homeowners because you know that they've owned a home because that's what you purchased from these. So you're emailing them, you're running ads on Facebook into the same audience, and you are mailing just sold postcards or nearby homeowner letters to these people. This is serious farming. Okay. Any questions about what I'm describing to you here related to that? Because that is really what this whole page right here is about. And if you'd like this page, email me at Vince@Listings to Leads. What's the problem here? And everything I talked about is on this page, except for open house marketing and the listing presentation, which is how we started the call. So are there any questions? Because we got 1 minute left. I can hang out longer for questions. I'm happy to answer any questions, but let's see what we have here. The 100, so she didn't necessarily mail it to the neighborhood. Yeah, no, she actually has a list of homeowners, Jocelyn, and she just goes from top to bottom, right? Like, I don't know how long her list is, but she's not mailing all of them at once. She just keeps mailing chunks of the list. When you upload it to your CRM, the same exact list, and you use our e-flyer, which you could there's an email version of this that you could blast out on those leads via your CRM. You could also say, hey, I want to run a sold ad to just those homeowners on Facebook, because now you have a custom audience that you can do that with. Okay. So it's Vince@Listings2Leads, not Vincent. My name is Vincent, but you know how that works. So I'll put that in. And if you're watching this on a recording, my website, my email is on our website. It's in the Teams account. So if you need a team account, I'm sending this to everybody right now, or a broker account, you would reach out to me. And right now I'm working with a company to create a partnership to where we can supply this kind of information of homeowners inside the platform to help you just make it more efficient for you. Any other questions? Happy to answer them. We've just been talking about how to get more listings here. Please watch this call. Again, it'll be on the YouTube channel. You can definitely, there's a lot to it. What we spent the second half is talking about these ways of farming. But since some of you are here late, open house marketing and our listing presentation and expireds is definitely a big winner right now. And I'm going to remind you, because I know Scott is, let's see here. If you go to our mastermind group, which you can find inside the marketing calendar, Scott is starting a kind of a 30-day challenge on how to get more listings from expired. So they're all going to be working on it together. And if you're late, we have an awesome listing presentation in print format that you can order through the mastermind group. And that is a great way of getting listings. We'd love to see you there. Oh, what Facebook ad budget would you suggest for open houses and how long to run for it? Where are you, Eric? What part of the country? Are you in a big city? Are you in like a smaller, more rural area? We definitely, I think our minimum budget for running any ad, we recommend $50. When you run an ad on an open house, the default setting is actually $35. But we see better lead price when you add more money to it. So if you start at $50 ads, and I'm going to an open house right now, and I'm going to show you what I mean. We would recommend that you just minimum spend $50 an ad. You tend to get a better lead cost, lower lead cost, basically. So when you're running the ad, change that 35 to 50. Now, this is an important question also because we have so many clients who, yeah, you got a lot of people over there. Yeah. So when you have an open house, please run that ad by Tuesday. Now, if you're not really you don't run a lot of ads, Facebook approves every ad. They look at it somehow and they do something and they approve it. And unfortunately, a lot of clients sign up with us on Friday when they have an open house on Saturday and they haven't really run an ad before or they're not good at it. And it takes Facebook 24 hours to approve the ad. And the ad gets approved and the open house is open. Okay. So a couple of things. Start on Tuesday if the open house, give yourself 5 days at least to mark. And then notice $50, it starts today, it ends here. If the open house ends on Saturday, change it to Saturday and change this time to when the open house ends right here. Okay. That's really important to do. That a lot of clients don't know that. Normally it's a 7-day ad. Yes. So I think that answers your questions there. Yeah. Yeah. And the question that you didn't ask, and which I will answer anyway, is we recommend minimally, if like you're a brand new agent. Now, if you're a brand new agent, you may not have a lot of budget, but you want to start getting to Facebook ad budget of $200 a month. That's $150 ad every week. And that could be about PDF guide. It could be about an open house. It could be just something just listed, but one ad every week. And why do we say that? You see this business page, Walnut Creek, and a realtor, wherever you are, Eric's in Colorado Springs. Eric, how many realtors you got over there? Like 5,000, 10,000? If you're a new agent, who knows that you're a realtor other than your close friends and family? And when you run one ad for $50, your business page will be seen probably 2,000 to 5,000 times. Okay. If you do that once a week, that's about 10,000 times a month, which is over 100,000 times every year. Yeah, there are thousands of realtors there. Does anybody know that Eric is a realtor there? I would totally recommend every agent be running at least one ad every week. And if you ask me for my open house email, and I mentioned earlier that open houses are what getting our clients more listing. Our clients are running 2 to 3 ads every week for 2 to 3 open, like one per open house. They're getting a lot of buyer leads from thousands of people seeing them, right? Every week and every month. And they're getting more listing. That's why the open house. So Scott does a class on open house marketing. You can watch it recorded here, or you can watch it live on Lead Gen webinars. You can sign up for live classes. I would highly recommend you check that out. Again, our 30-day expired challenge, do that. Do the ads show up in our ad account or do they show up in your ad account? They actually show up on both. Okay. When you run an ad on our platform, the first step is connect to your Facebook business page. And that's why when you put $50 here, it's charging $50 on your credit card on Facebook. But you will see our ads in your ad manager on Facebook and in our ads page over here. I think you want to really be aware of this over here because you're going to see your lead cost a lot straighter here. I think that's my story, guys. Any more questions? I know we're running late. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. But if not, thank you for joining me today. I hope this helps you. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. If you want the documents like top tools for more listings, or if you want our open house email, happy to send that to you. Please make sure you get a mastermind group. And don't forget, we have a really awesome support team on the bottom left when you're in your account. So if you get stuck, put your question right in that box. Everybody on the team follows that. They're really fast. Our clients every week are saying, hey, that team is so great. Jocelyn, thanks so much. I know there's a lot of info. We do a lot. And we interact with a lot of platforms. Our goal is to get you more leads for more business. Take your time to unpack this. It can be very valuable for your business. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. We'll talk soon. Oh, if you need a team account, yeah, email me and I'll help you out. Okay. Bye, everyone.